Welcome back to the desert, sir.
Thank you.
A little different than it looks like in the summertime, huh?
I'm ready to mud bog.
Yeah, right? Much like the seasons changing throughout the year, my ideas and whims could change by the moment. I like to keep it exciting, and I'm glad Alan's here for the ride. Got this little switcheroo going on in the shop also. It's a little something different than we've done before.
Okay.
And we've done some crazy stuff.
Whew, here we go. What is this?
This is the rolling chassis of our next project.
Man. When he calls me to come out, I'm pretty clueless to what we're gonna do until I get here, and then he drops the bomb. I mean, I didn't know what direction we were going. There's nothing besides a chassis.
It's a little bit of a lot of things. It's a 1938 Cadillac chassis, and I just wanted to update everything. So it's got the classic Camaro front clip. Whole drivetrain is Lincoln Mark 7, 1987. Ford 5.0 high output engine, automatic trans, four-wheel disc, power steering, and air suspension. Ta-da.
38 Cadillac, isn't it supposed to be like
2 feet longer, yeah.
Wow.
It's a 100-inch wheelbase now. I shortened the chassis way up. I moved the engine back about 20 inches and lowered that down to the ground, and then C-notched the rear end.
Nice.
This is pretty serious business, but don't take me too serious. We're building a full-on clown car here. When you're standing next to it, I want you to feel a little nervous.
Well, it's working, because I'm already nervous, and I'm standing right next to it.
I think Alan's an artist at heart, so I know that he is down for this kooky idea. Consider this a blank slate. There's nothing going on here. What we're gonna put on is really where the figuring out and the styling comes in.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I saw the look in his eyes.
I got a whole trailer full of potential. You gotta see this. This is ye old, carefully curated pile of parts.
Look like a pile of scraps to me.
What?
You know, I'm walking up to the trailer and I'm seeing all these parts, and I guess there's a little potential in there, but I mean, really, you're just like,
Look at this. Look at that tail light.
okay, give it a couple points.
Look at these.
I'll see you.
Look at the
Okay.
fenders.
So this is a luxury scrap pile.
It's a luxury scrap pile. It's not your average scrap pile. Look at the hood.
The hood looks like the size of the chassis.
Yes, it does. Well, it's a whole 1938 Cadillac body, and then a little Dodge thrown on the back for good measure. You got a lot of curves. You got a lot of cool accessories. We're gonna build our own version of this kind of shape of sheet metal.
It's like, oh man, here we go again. I'm up for the challenge.
I think you need some help with your optimism, my man. Let's get this in the shop and you're gonna see the light.
I need to see something, because all I see is scrap. He doesn't give me much. It's kind of leaves me on the edge every time. He gives me just enough to know what we're doing at the moment, but I don't know which direction we're gonna go with it. It's pretty nerve-wracking a little bit.
Yeah, look at that. Laid on the ground. That's got character.
Man, looking at it like that's a little different.
Here, take that jack and raise her up and lower her down. Right?
Ooh, buddy. No, that's super low. That's when you're scared of heights.
Plop it on down. Look at that, man.
Ooh, baby, now that looks good.
Right? I mean, this is par for the course. My ideas always take a little bit of warming up to. You know, it starts with, wow, this guy's nuts. And then it's like, wow, this has got potential, but this guy's still nuts. But let's do it. How are you gonna send that to the scrapyard?
Man, I see it now. Shame on me.
Talking all that scrap.
I know.
You gotta see the front fenders, it gets even better. Yeah, dude, look at the flow. Up, and then up again, all the way to the front.
Sexy, sexy.
See how the wheelbase changes everything?
It changes the entire,
It's not a big limousine,
no. Sit there and be like Cruella de Vil.
right? My thought was the headlights either level with the hood or just a little bit above the hood. I mean, the whole hood just pancaked. You see what I'm feeling, man?
It's all attitude.
I mean, I think it's a super cool look.
No, it really isn't. When you look at the wheels, where the wheels sit and the fender sits, you look like you have no engine in there.
This is one of the reasons I wanted the engine so low and drop back in that chassis. I mean, look at the hood height. It looks impossible. It's got the big bug eye headlights on top. I mean, this is the kickoff point. This is what I was hoping to see. Obviously, it's gonna need to be sectioned. The back's gonna need to be totally rearranged. I guess we start by positioning the cowl where it belongs and then start building body structure. You know, right now it is 5 pieces of loose scrap metal.
Scrap metal.
The first step is just a few trims off of this cowl so we can see what we're up against as far as proportions. Look at that height difference. Alan, your firewall's on fire. Don't call it a hot rod for nothing. That's the tricky part at this stage because, you know, I want impossible proportions, but you gotta look graceful in the impossibility. Look at this sloppy jalopy. It's coming together already.
I personally think he gets a kick out of me sitting there dumbfounded, trying to figure out what's gonna be next.
I'm feeling it, man. One authentic pirate ship steering wheel, and we are off to the races. It's a pretty loose mock-up, but I think this ship is just about ready to sail. I'm in love with it already. You haven't lost one yet, Captain.
No, sir.
Just getting started. The next step is to continue with the cowl and get into position to work with the hood and the fenders. I'm going for maximum chop, and a little bit too much, it's not gonna fit. So it's kind of a make it or break it moment. Looks like we can section it a lot. You know, if you're looking at this, you could even do up to like a 10-inch section before you get into that, because the hood should be landing here.
On top.
Think maybe let's try an 8-inch section. I mean, that's still huge.
That's a lot. Sounds ludicrous, but it makes a little sense.
8 is great.
8 is great.
Over this winter, I lost pretty much my best friend. Our shop inspector, dude. The cancer got him. It's been pretty quiet around the shop lately. When dude walked in the door, he was just weeks old, and he took right to it. He became the shop inspector immediately. He was such a ham. I never knew a dog with such robust attitude. He was enthusiastic, he was always there 100% for the cause, and man, he loved his treat. The one big takeaway I got from my relationship with him was that I didn't even understand what compassion was, I think. Something that I really learned, how to care for something other than myself in that kind of way. We were bonded, right? Pretty cool. Lil's been here for quite a while as well. She's with dude for more than half of his life, so it's only fitting that we introduce some young blood. To what honor do we owe the visit? The shop inspector's shoes are big ones to fill. I think he's feeling a little intimidated.
Very intimidated.
I haven't heard a word out of you since we got you. Once the word hits the street on the unusual proportions going on in the shop, the inspectors come in like flies on honey.
I think he wants to pee on the tire.
I don't know, you're just a baby. He's all smiles and licks for now, but he's only 17 months old. I'm sure his critique is going to develop. There's no glory in the underpinnings. It's all just fabrication, no styling. So we got all this business tied together. Did front structural support, got the cowl all welded together, top and bottom, bolted the fenders on, started this little tube chassis to support the rear of the car, and tied it all in with sheet metal. The gas tank in this Cadillac, like so many other cars, hung below the floor in the trunk. Because it's so low, we don't want that to rip on any obstacles in the road, so we're bringing it up into the trunk a bit. Yeah.
There it is.
Everything we've done so far is just pure layout. The next step is styling the roof line, but I want to get everything secure. You know, now it's a car again, but it's like anything goes. Is it a roadster? Is it a fastback? I mean, it could be anything. This is gonna have to move down to here somewhere. Let's just cut this off. I got a couple ideas. I think the back end of this car was beautiful as is, but as soon as we sectioned it, it was like, whoa, look at this massive overhang. We gotta do something stat. Sometimes the best way to see through a project is to break it down to a blank slate and start adding back on. All right, let's put this on the table.
Everything on this car was built so big. I mean, most of the time that was your luxury car in the 30s. So now we're trying to go from a luxury car to a speedster or roadster or Hot Wheels or whatever it is.
I mean, it's so low, it's like it's almost lost some of its presence. You know?
Right.
It's like it's just down to nothing.
It's like the saying, how low can we go? We're there.
I've never been one to say, whoa, this car's too low, but I mean, come on, who's gonna be cruising this thing? A couple of chipmunks?
Seems like we were going in one direction and now we're going the total opposite.
It looks so good. I'd hate to busy it up with a whole bunch of styling that would take away from the look of those two boat tail fenders.
Right, it's almost like less is more.
Yeah. I think we should put this welder away and grab some of those scrap parts. Do a little stacking.
Back to the scrap pile.
The old Dodger Lodger. This is the third project that this one's involved in. These are the remaining pieces from the camper project. I always love the fastback look, you know, in comparison to the Cadillac, that square back of the roof, I love this.
Yeah, you can't beat the fastback look.
Maybe it'll work. Let's try it out.
Yeah, let's see.
My favorite body style, hands down, is the slope back roof, like that 47 Dodge. Wow, I don't know, man. That like fits too good. Like it needs to be chopped for sure, but
Woo, come on now.
right?
Dang, dude.
That works good.
Whoa. If you follow the body line on the Dodge, it follows the fender.
Right? The trim works perfect.
Every time we put a new part on it, it completely changes the direction of the build. You know, we think it's going this way and all of a sudden it's going that way. And sometimes we gotta go backwards.
I mean, we have no back window. We have no deck lid. It's all been used on the Bug. No roof skin. So there's that.
That's a lot of problems in one
package, right?
one package,
Yeah.
definitely.
Pains me to my core to be the voice of reason, but sometimes the shoe fits, or doesn't even exist in this case. Maybe we should put the Cadillac roof back on and just check out the window, because it's like this is gonna have to meet the front windshield somewhere, you know?
And see what it looks like.
Yeah.
I agree.
She's a biggin'. Whoa, wait a second. Wait a second. Look at that. It's a station wagon. Oh, that's right, I shortened it 22 inches. It's like, holy station wagon.
You can see it now.
That's a freak show. Yapple dapple.
You know, the best accidents are happy accidents, right?
I'm happy. Putting that Cadillac roof on there, the square back, it knocked me out. I'm just like, I had not seen that before.
It just screams old school gangster. It's low, it's wide, it's rusty. It's just so cool.
I hated this window, now I love it. I mean, it's got so much more character down there without a big trunk.
Right, it looked like driving Miss Daisy.
I said I wanted you to feel uncomfortable standing next to it. How do you feel?
I'm uncomfortably loving it.
That's like ridiculous. That's not what I was looking for at all. This is the reason you gotta stay open-minded, you know? If you're working on a project and you got it set A through Z, how are you gonna find that inspiration? Sometimes that thing you think you might despise could be the diamond in the rough. I still think it needs a chop. I think we need at least a 2-inch chop through the windshield. I mean, look at that visor. Oh! Oh! That's what an old-fashioned car crash used to sound like. A little more a little more attitude.
A lot more attitude.
We're making a station wagon, whatever it takes.
That's it, for real.
Right?
That's it, I mean, it really is. So I guess the best plan of attack is to have no plan of attack.
100%.
I'm learning.
For some reason, the Dodge windows, none of it's even working for me. If we were to change the whole thing to a Dodge-style roof, rear window included, then all the Art Deco business, you got bump, 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 window, right?
Right,
The
it gets a
Cadillac
little busy there.
doesn't offer any of that.
I do remember that it made this look extra big.
If the Dodge windows are just putting us in the wrong direction, what about the stock Cadillac door tops? Right? That's what was in the door.
So this was the rear window.
That's the rear of the four-door car.
Okay.
And then this is the front. So they were like this, it's a four-door. Boom, boom. Look how long that is. That's a massive
huge.
entry. So I was like, well, shoot. I mean, these go right back in the door.
Oh, man, yeah.
Right?
I mean, if it's back.
We would do the old switcheroo. That goes there, and we got extra long. So we only have one weld in the center instead of two when you splice it in. So it all lines up. And I also had an idea for the back of this. So I had this piece of the Dodge roof. I don't think I want a window in the back at all.
The Dodge lives on.
It's a little piece and everything.
I mean, it really solves the problem of the big gap in the back.
You got rust, you got chrome, you got slope. What's not to like?
The trick is just to make it look like it came that way. Make it look like it was a two-door from the beginning.
I'm doing the two tricks with one trick. While Alan wraps up that door, I'm gonna get started on our new old window frames. Let's throw a B-pillar in, and then we can attach that sheet. Like the rest of the car, I want to keep these doors in loose assembly before we commit to anything. It's really one piece at a time and everything all at once. Pretty good for a mock-up. So the Dodge drip rail might actually make the cut. The only piece.
Oh.
We'll meet the Cadillac right about where the visor is, and then they'll put a little hood over this chrome so it just looks more factory.
Yeah, the drip rail gives it so much attitude.
Heck yeah. Let's do the old magnet mock-up. Oh yeah, see? That brings the line right through. All the scars from the welding, they tend to confuse things, but look at that.
I know, and it matches the Fender steel.
It does.
How does that happen?
Let's try this for the heck of it. The challenge here is that we have these really deep dished curves, and then it's not needing that much of a dish.
Oh, okay. You're getting somewhere. Look at this. It might go.
It's a real compound curve. It's kind of like a saddle and a horse. It's like this way and then this way at the same time. Yeah, just give it a nice whoosh.
Sweet.
I got my Ace Fabricator welder on this one. I ain't scared. That's the story, sir. Later, I might put a bumper. You know, I'm not sure how it's gonna trim out in the end, but the sheet metal, look, it's complete.
Fenders come out, they come back in, and then the smiley face,
Yeah.
boat tail, voila.
Looking at the back of this is pretty surprising. You know, it's full custom for sure. Kind of weird, a lot of nonsense, not very user-friendly. Win. The heavy fabrication, like the structure of the car, is complete. It's there, 100%. Now it's like, all right, it's a pretty weird design. You know, how do we start to tie this together? You got this square back end and like a nice flowing fender. It's not a perfect harmonious balance, but the more I was looking at it, it's like, well, what's really bugging me? It's actually the wheel opening. There's also one issue that's been bothering me because we're very deep into the fabrication at this point, and there's still no piece of Volkswagen in this project. So I think we're gonna put a piece in. So this is a piece of the leftover roof skin from that chop top Volkswagen Johnny Jalopy and I did. Like it's got just about as much crown as that fender does. And then it wraps this way as well. Look at that, it's like, just like the fenders want to do. They roll right under. So that there might be a donor if I got enough room. Oh yeah, look at that. I think what I'm gonna do is make a wood buck hammer form, it's called. Sort of like what I did on the bubble top project, where you have a backboard and then you have a retaining ring, but instead of heating plexiglass and inflating it, we're gonna clamp it down and hammer the edge so it's kind of like a little dish. One question I get on the regular is how do I keep coming up with ideas for new projects? I just always have a million different ideas, and really it's about like what's presented to me. You know, I don't like specifically hunt for a certain thing. It's mostly like kind of what washes up. Immediately your eye is going through here like, okay, well that'll be the bottom of the fender. Some skirts will have like a little raise in it and like a teardrop sort of flowing out like the fender. I'm gonna put the steel in place and then make that decision. Volkswagen roof sandwich. Why am I using this many clamps, you may ask? I'm about to beat the living heck out of this with a big old hammer. A nice little dish. I think the most important aspect of this type of thing is confidence. Don't hit it with questions, hit it with answers. You're gonna tell that metal what to do. I was thinking maybe there would be like a little deco swoop kind of at the bottom of the thing, but that back fender line is right there. I'm gonna put that right in the sheet metal brake, straight shot. The back of the fender comes right through. No wheel opening. Now the question arises, how are you gonna keep that thing in place? I think I'm just gonna put a couple simple clips. Let the tow truck driver figure it out. People ask all the time, oh, how do you get the tire off of that car? It's like, I don't care. Sipping a margarita by the seaside while AAA's over there, digging my car out of a mud puddle. This car building thing's not all it's cracked up to be. It'd probably be me laying in the mud puddle with a Phillips screwdriver, not even a screw gun, cursing the world. Ooh, that classies it up. Straight shot, no extra action. Puts that back end on the ground for sure. I just want to prove one thing to my brain before we go any further. My whole MO in this shop is problem solving. If I see something that's not pleasing to my eye, I'm going to work to it and try to remedy it. Carry on. See that already starting to come in. Colors and shapes matter. I just need to breathe some paint fumes to really get in the zone. And I gotta say, I'm feeling a lot better about this. I just want to blank out the hard contrast between the skirt and the fender. In the end, I'm gonna work on that. I didn't know how this was gonna work out like most other things. VW roof equals fender skirt in this town. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Boom, boom, boom. Back is just about there. Front's pretty loose. It's time to bring it all together. All right, getting onto the front end of this thing. It came with all of this chrome grille stuff in the trunk, but it looks like it was from two different cars. So I'm gonna try to put this antique pile of mess back into something that looks like a car grille. The hidden mysteries of car building. Never a dull day. Look at this dimension on this thing. It's like freaking Star Trek or something. Boomerang from outer space. Wow. Look at that. Looks like we're off to a normal start. 1 minute in and I'm already digging the hole deeper. This piece of tin was all bent. Al and I just put a temporary spreader bar in there when we set the fenders up, but now it's like, is it the right width? Is the front end bent? You see what happened here? It literally just fell apart in my hands. I'm gonna try to take this mess and put it over there without breaking anything else. This grille's a big part of the original Cadillac look, and I'd love to see it incorporated in this car, you know, kind of the Easter egg, the hint at what it was. So I'm going to start by putting this thing together and see what's missing. And they look like they're going together. Because we sectioned it 8 inches, the grille's 8 inches smaller, so it looks like I'm gonna get away with just modifying a couple of these things. It's very crooked right now, but I like it. One thing in modifying these grill bars, there was no piece in there for the original hardware to screw into, so there was 2 or 3 that were just floating in space. I realized that there are holes through that grill for whatever reason, and I had a piece of steel rod that fit them perfectly. Please don't break. Kept them in line. Yes! Look at that, nice and strong now. Plug this pup in and see what we're working with. There it is. Boom. Not too bad for 2 grills, some broken parts, a dream. Next step is to remedy this area here where there's nothing going on, but fortunately, we have the original side pods. Really good illustration of how much we section this car, right? The hood used to sit here, but it's rather substantial. Really cool to have these original hood sides because it's a simple trim and fit scenario. one mini side pod. Looking pretty snazzy. Head sides, Grille. That's what this thing needed. Now you got a face only a mother could love. I gotta say, there's still some work ahead, but it's really coming together. This thing looks like it's ready to go to the Monster Mash Halloween party of the century. Fab is pretty much there, a couple little decorations, but next up is driving it. I want to see how this thing runs out. Another project in the bag. It started off as this crazy, super loose concept, but here we are out on the street. I gotta say, it's not a good looking car. I think this is the coolest, ugliest car I've ever made. There's something like so appealing and so weird about it, it's hard to put a finger. I'm really excited about the way this thing works. For a 38 Cadillac with a super short wheelbase, to behave like a 1987 Lincoln with a 5.0 power plant, pretty rad. This is Dracula's gangster ride, so it's gotta have airbags. Wow. I gotta tell you, it's all fashion in this one. I built some weird stuff, but this ranks pretty high on the weirdo meter. Definitely a kick to drive. I had no concept of what it was gonna be when we started, and this is just what it evolved into. The weirdness of leaving the big roof and turning it into kind of like a shooting brake, I think they're called. It's not a hearse, it's not a station wagon. It really did build itself, so to speak. I chose not to paint this. I did a little spray can effect just to keep the multiple tones sort of in check, but the idea is this is raw. If this was finished, it would be a different car. People might take it seriously. I think the rust and all the old chrome and everything being so antique makes people like, what tomb did this thing crawl out of? We didn't do any metal forming on this at all. It's simple cut and weld. We just took the puzzle apart and reassigned the pieces. The only new piece of steel I used was on the little running board section under the door. The rest of the thing is all Cadillac and 2 pieces of Volkswagen hood for the fender skirts. All this stuff could have gone to the junkyard, you know? All it takes is a ridiculous ambition and a little help from your friends. My good buddy Victor said he's got a project and he'd like to bring it over. Now, this door-to-door delivery's got me a little suspicious right out of the gate. This isn't the first time Victor's shown up with a pile of parts, but the urgency seems a bit new and invigorated.
Surprise!
Right? It is a surprise. I see some stuff I recognize, but some stuff I don't.
It's a Volkswagen pan, and you know I'm not a Volkswagen guy.
You know I am. He's brought it to the right place.
That's why it's here. Me and Hector were playing with it a little because I wanted some other kind of roadster or something, but with Ian's touch, you know, the Ed Roth feel and his space junkie vibe.
Yes, sir.
I said, who better could put this puzzle together and make it look cool?
I think you're looking for an excuse to get some extra sheet metal out of your yard, but hey, you came to the right place. Clearly, the tables have turned. Normally, I'm the one that's pitching all the crazy ideas, you know, cardboard, masking tape, all the envisioning tools. Here it comes. Even in my backyard, the world works in mysterious ways. I see your envisioning tools are hard at work. It's just a wedge, just straight up, looking like a log splitter almost. Just something comes straight down to a sharp blade in the front, huh?
This is your name written on it. I mocked this up mainly so I could get my space of where the interior was gonna go and that I fit in it. This here, to me, feels right. The rest is whatever you think. I got some extra parts. If you could use them, you use them.
Always with Victor's pile of parts, I'm seeing things that I recognize, but he's always got that wild card he throws in. I never know when it's gonna strike. It needs just about everything, but I'm not sure how that metropolitan body translates to this exotic shape you're describing. I think these little Metropolitans are awesome cars. It's just like for customization potential, there's not really a lot going on there, but hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Sleep on it, let the stars affect you out here, and you'll feel it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he has a dream, and the knucklehead to fall through with it. Put this thing back in the shop, and I gotta say, this is a super loose mock-up, probably one of the loosest we've ever started from, but he said I have free reign, right? That's what I heard. So I'm gonna do what I think needs to be done. I love the idea of building a concept from nothing. Victor pretty much came in, made a bold statement, and dropped the mic. He's like, that's your job. So we can reference that, should we need to. All I've ever wanted to do is just build my own stuff, so Victor's showing me that opportunity. All right, we got this mousetrap out of the way. He's talking about these rims, 22-inch diameter rims on a Volkswagen. Let's just see. Take a moment to digest the possibilities. I'm not 100% feeling those rims. I'm not opposed to big diameter wheels, but something about the stagger, right? You want big in the back, little in the front. That's the hot rod flavor. Looking a little like a roller skate at this point. Victor likes big rims and he cannot lie. Now we're getting somewhere. Helps, we're trying to hide that engine, so we're trying to pack as much material around that as possible. Those rims do just that. Wheelbase is way too short. Close together or far apart or just right. See what I'm saying? Right now, it's got the Mr. Peabody look. It's kind of like really close together. Smaller wheels would appear farther apart. This is the beginning of a delicate dance. Stacking parts, arranging parts, moving them around, and at this point, your guess is as good as mine. See, when I saw the Metropolitan body, I knew I wanted to wedge the front of it down to get it as low as possible, and man, it's got that kind of a wedge shape already. I know the wheelbase is gonna be longer. How much longer? I have no clue. As much as I like that tire centered in the fender well, I think the back of the car should move as far forward as possible. Tuck it right to that engine, I think. It's the moment of truth. Weirdo-rama. Oh no. That is kooky. All of a sudden, it looks really, really tall at this point with that fin stuck on there. Let's see if we can make this door hinge and look as low as possible. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Look how big that quarter panel is. Without that tire on, whew, that wasn't gonna work. Aha! There's a tire in there. I can't stand it. First I didn't like the rims, now I'm all goosey. This style rim might win me over after all. Having a body panel next to this wheel, it's like, whoa, wait a second. Yeah, that's hot rod. Proportions everything, and looking at that taillight hanging off the back end, I'm like, ooh, we gotta tighten that up a bit. This is what's gonna sell the back end of the car, in my opinion. I'm really happy with the door, the tire, and the bobbed off back end. This fin is coming down, coming forward, and then again, our axle being somewhere out here, I'm assuming. Maybe furtherer, I don't know, but that's kind of where we're at. I'm gonna replicate this exact measurements to the other side and then carry on with the front and the back. Even though we only have a half a car presented, I feel like we're leaning in the right direction. And even if we're not, we're only half wrong, right? Diced up that whole Nash Metropolitan and it worked out great. I just mimicked the driver's side with the passenger side and put in a bunch of structure and made this cool little curved backrest. You got some representation of what the back of this bucket area that you sit in is. It's feeling good. At this point in the process, my focus is on getting the front of that car as low as possible. The Volkswagen Beam with its stacked tubes was not going to afford that super low look, so I called in some reinforcements. I ordered a 6-inch drop axle from Speedway. This is your typical hot rod setup. Disc brakes, rack and pinion steering. It's not a Volkswagen, Victor. We're hiding all that business. When people look at this, they'll be like, wait, something doesn't add up. There's usually a big V8 engine sitting right here. Not this time. Literally, the hood height can be right here. That's super low. Volkswagen and the hot rod, they gotta meet up. I got a plan. It involves some of this. It's from another project, that crazy trike thing. Piece of the leftover chassis, it's super strong. Oh, I gotta get back in the gym. This is Envisioning Central right here, and look how close this perch is to that body line. I like that. This is what I was seeing when he showed me that wedge silhouette. It's like extremely low in the front. And when I saw it on the VW, I was like, man, it just doesn't work. You got these two shocks coming way up. This is gonna work. I mean, usually we talk about like, oh, waist-high car, knee-high car. Now that's a toy. I think this wheelbase is perfect. I wanna get this thing into like a roller status and then consider what's happening with the body. Looking at Victor's mock-up and looking what we have here, I'm seeing a straight shot on an angle, front to back, right to the front spindles. The cheese biscuit has an angle. It's sharp cheddar. I think for right now, I'm gonna bolt these heim joints right to the pan just to get some kind of a reference. To all those that say I don't even have a tape measure, well, I found it and I'm using it. This is one of the only times in life where it's hip to be square. That's a win. See? Nice big rainbow bridge. And what does every rainbow have buried inside? Mounting hardware, of course. Boom. Of course, that structure is going to get a bunch more strength. This was just to get the axle in position so I can set up this sheet metal. So it's all got to kind of come together. So I want to keep the center perch of the chassis super narrow. I think the body's going to be somewhere in here like this, right to there. The way that I'm feeling is not only do we want this wedged down from top to bottom like Victor presented, I want the both sides coming in. I want it more like a chisel point. The look here is pure speed, you know, like the tip of a lightning bolt, right? Fast. That defining rib in the lower portion of the door, I'm gonna try to mimic that. It's two blank sheets and then just take a look. So see, that's approximate. Then you can see how it radiuses down from there. Put a little hoo-ha in it. Trim this off. That looks pretty good. That's our gauge. That all started when I was learning to make gutters for houses. You could see that this could easily be turned into a gutter shape. So some people, like the wealthy, they wanted a special shaped gutter. Seriously. So they said, oh, I drew this design, and now how do you do that? That's how I did that. Sometimes it just shows you can work yourself out of the gutter. You could be somebody. So easy to continue stacking until it looks like an overweight mess, right? I've always taken the opposite route and try to like sharpen it, refine it. A lot of times you end up with a much smaller interior than expected. Looks better already, baby. I hogged both of these cavities open, so it should give us a few more inches. Yep, it's pretty aggressive. Looks good from here. I think the choice to cut this floor pan into a triangle shape was the right one. I mean, looking at it from the nose now, it's got the flow. All the envisioning in the world really doesn't matter at this point. It's all about getting things in line and all the structure in. Goes from like thin body, and then the body comes in, it's just totally not a Volkswagen, something very different. But we aren't done yet. We both know that this concept has to be as complete as we can muster to prepare it for the arrival of the master enhancer. Like they say, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. I think Victor really didn't have a lot of expectations coming into this. Like, he had a concept, and like I think he's along for the ride.
You nailed it. I mean, who in their right mind, the way you continued the body line, so the whole side of the car is complete. It's awesome. I love the front end you put on this thing. The tires in the front, we almost need to do something like you did on the Space Junkie, something narrower.
That's bugging me also. It looks like it's got two giant mitts coming at you. Look how light the front of the car looks now.
I mean, look at you got a wedge coming right after you with wings coming out. So it's like, what the heck's this guy doing? It's gotta be Ian stuff. I just need a little bit more beat, but I got what you're trying to tell me. There's your speedster, right?
For sure. There's something to be said for just falling into the groove. We're in line with the rims. We're in line with the general direction the body's taking, and I mean, just carry on.
I brought you all this stuff again. You know me, I'm a collector of fine art.
This is fine art. And no mock-up would be complete without Victor introducing an entire onslaught of new parts to add to the mix.
Use what you want. I got different kinds of headlight, tail light, headlights, tail light, grills and stuff. That's Pomona at its best.
I like what he's putting down here. You know, all these parts, they speak volumes, you know, atomic age, retro future, space travel. These are sweet. You even know what these are from?
No.
They're huge.
They're from Pomona, that's all I know.
Yeah. Not one to be completely upstaged by Victor. I'm always collecting stuff too, and I got a few things to throw in the mix as well. Check this out.
Wow. War of the Worlds, man. That's my favorite movie.
Right? Come on.
That'd be some good sunglasses for you. That's cool.
Right? Just raise them up maybe 3 or 4 inches. So the car's going so fast, right? You wouldn't be like going into the wind like that. You'd be like squinting, trying to go into the wind. I'm glad you love these headlights because I felt like that was gonna solve it. You can work on the rims, but the issue with the hood, I'm seeing more of a rounded edge like you would see on most 50s cars, you know? Contour in here.
I got Zephyr hoods. I bring you one, you cut it to size, and you got your contour.
A Lincoln Zephyr hood is really a special part in the hot rod and custom world. You really can't get them. So to throw this in the mix is pretty daring. So you got your VW, you got your Metro, you got your Studebaker, you got your Speedway, and then you got your Zephyr. It's a magic number.
And the Etzel.
6. I like how this is stacking up. The parts stash just keeps going and going. I mean, you talk about throwing in the kitchen sink. This is like the 1980s Honda spoiler on the trunk. He leaves nothing out for the trash. It's like some Star Trek lines right there.
Actually, it goes better that way.
Yeah, you're kind of freaking me out, man. My mind is spinning on this back end now. I got some concepts, but I want to come down to your place and pick up that hood because that, to me, it feels like a solution, the Zephyr hood.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Continue on that journey, because I'm with you.
This is music to my ears, you know, the synchronicity of ridiculousness. Victor is on track for success. This is exactly where I want it to be. I mean, look at the great shape. It's just, not even triangular anymore. It's just like graceful, like a boat. I mean, Zephyr's a beautiful car. It's a good candidate for our butcher job. I am dying to put the front axle on this just to look, but we're not running those tires. The openings won't allow the radius arms to go in, but I mean, the body shape to me, feeling it. There's still a big issue of missing car on the back of this project. The only thing that's in the way in the back is this fan shroud. I have to work around that, otherwise I could do anything I want. But I want something kind of exotic. The Nash Metropolitan is a very flat, draped piece of sheet metal. 54 Chevy has the same look, just a nice round deck lid. I was thinking maybe about that. I also remembered I had some VW Type 3 deck lids, so I put that on there. And it's like, well, that looks like the back of a car to me. It's got a cool shape to it. I think it needs something more than just that. Like, what does it do? Just go straight down in the back and then a couple taillights? That doesn't look very interesting to me. I want it to look like more exotic, you know? When you look at it from the back, it doesn't look like any other car. I had a lot of consideration about what to do on the back of this, you know? Anything goes, but what do I have on hand? Had another one of these, same unit, right? What if you just put them together like this? Look, they match. That's like the back bumper of a UFO, if I'm not mistaken. This is pure sculpture at this point. That's my favorite thing to do, so it only follows that that's all I think about 24/7, right? Just might work. I love how it's like a super exaggerated roll pan. I love the orientation of the fins and this curve right here. So it's coming in your eye, it's coming down and back up right here. We're talking about the wedge, right? So this is like from here to there. Just gotta come up a little bit more. I want this to raise high up enough to access the engine, etc. I want the whole back of the car to open. So I'm gonna come up with a little hinge plan, swinging from the stock mounting location on this deck lid. The nut gets welded to the car, and the deck lid swivels around it. Drum roll, please. Yeah, I mean, you have perfect access to the complete engine. This is gonna get cut back somewhere through here, so there's a lot of room to offer. Definitely cool. I'm gonna get rid of this right now because that's bugging me. That thing's sticking out like a sore piece of sheet metal. Not really rocket science, it's deck lid science. I'm not gonna use much more than my knee bone. Like so. If you really want, I could turn this into a big formal production, right? I could get out the tubing bender, make some templates. I could even get the tape measure out, make it look really important. I saw the shape I needed. I had an extra knee laying around, so what the heck? Yeah, the taillights are pretty big aesthetic in what's happening back here. I think less towards the bottom of the car is better. Just gonna keep everything like focused on the wings. I think it's about time we busted into Victor's treasure trove. He brought in some real jewels, and I think this car could use some sparkle. You know, these are pretty tasty, but I feel like they're definitely horizontal. These are super space age, but I think they're just too big for those fins. Now, these little gems, and look at that. Does that not say flying spaceship thing? I think Victor knows that the key to all of our success so far has been his parts sourcing, and I gotta say, he knows how to pick them. That little baby set right in there. There's something about the shape of these particular taillights. I think it's gonna really tidy up and refine the statement of the back end of this car. Did a little work on the rear of these fins. I extended them out, took some sheet metal and formed it to fit up these taillights just right. I felt like this little bulge in the fender here would just sort of terminate right at the taillight, and then it would just fall down in a very generic shape. Like that way it's pretty much open to whatever kind of flavor we want to add to it. There's something about, like, you know, the Martian's antennas, the way they're like that. I just felt like the taillights and the fins, like you had this like round shape with two like things coming off. I don't know, worked for me. Even though the majority of the back is defined, there's still a lot of holes in the rear portion. You know, it's kind of like the Swiss cheese biscuit, but we're going for more of the mozzarella biscuit. It's sort of round, it's sort of triangle. So to just kind of make that flow with sheet metal, it's easier said than done. So I'm thinking I can utilize this rest of the Nash Metropolitan body. This is the front fender. It's got a bunch of good character lines in it. I think that's just gonna add a less generic flavor to it. This is the old joining of the Studebaker, Nash Metropolitan, and Volkswagen Type 3 Trek. Here we go. The first step is to create some kind of a line that transfers the taillight fin to the bottom of the car. In just looking at the back of the car, I'm seeing this horizontal band where the two deck lids joined, and I'm thinking that it may turn up into the flat plane of the taillights, so just trying to create a ridge that would lead into that feeling. I said I want to make a Tesla right now and put this piece in. You got one slice of pizza. Pepperoni. Because this is just a vacant space, you know, I'm imagining the curve, the contour that'll blend around the corner into the wheel arch area. So I'm just looking around and choosing something that matches that contour in my mind. For me, I'm not a really good planner, but I'm a really good improviser. And this pretty much documents the process precisely. I'm just trying to follow the lay of the land. Yes. No plans, winging a prayer. Voila. I love this dip in the Studebaker fin. It's got some more flow, you know? It's more organic. Name the state. Start it right where it fits the best. I'm gonna begin the mutilation process. It's starting to curve this piece of flat steel, and it's putting a lot of stress in the panel, which is gonna make it super strong. You're gonna need that rigidity for space travel. Seen some craft come apart at Mach 6. It's a messy scenario. I took my time, did all the welding, fabbed out the whole rear corners, and it's almost time for Mr. Cacho to take over on this creation. I love the fins and the taillights, but looking at the center section, it's just kind of mute. Time's a-wasting, it's running out. What's my last call on the look of the back of this car? I think I got one more idea. Two of the things I saved were from a Cadillac. I don't know what year that is, but that's definitely in the front grille. You got all these little chrome bullet shapes, and man, maybe Frenched in a bit, a little in, a little out, just a big oval opening. With this insert, you know, it'll be functional and look pretty spacey. It's like that 13-year-old kid with braces, right? I'm thinking, man, the Zephyr hood classed this thing up so much. Wouldn't a little bit of Cadillac in the back look good? I'll just put this wire to hold it as a reference, but that's kind of the look. This really added to it. Now the deck lid has some dimension to it. It's like an alien face. It's pretty weird. That was the last major aesthetic change. We're still working on some concepts for the windshield and dashboard. I think the momentum is building. This car at this point, as wild as it looks, it's still a blank slate. Once it gets into Victor's hands, all bets are off. The only thing I can say for sure is that we're not sure where it's gonna go from here. Let the dice roll. Victor called me down to the Cacho residence talking about change. Business as usual with this guy, always hustling.
Check this out, Ian. I might need a few more slight enhancements.
Yeah, as usual. Wait, what? Wow. Whoa. Talk about a jaw-dropper moment. I'm just like, wow. I'm expecting a car in the middle of some kind of crisis. This thing is awesome. Holy moly, you've been a little busy.
I slightly changed a few things.
I can see the changes. It's orange now.
You wanted a cheese biscuit, you got it.
It's done. It's finished. It's beautiful. It's even orange, like sharp cheddar. I love how you changed the fins, because you kept saying the Grille looked like an angry rat with the ears sticking up in the fins or something, but this totally fixed it. One major change in the back was the taillights are disappeared. He rounded off, and I gotta say, good call, man. It looks smooth.
It defines its own look, right? I mean, tell me when you've ever seen that before.
Never. It looks great. I just wondered, what are you gonna do for taillights?
I got taillight. I'll never live that down. Everywhere I go, where the taillight. Stay there. I don't want to take that heat anymore. Taillight.
Oh, right on. Stealth mode. I think the car is a little bit of everything. It's futuristic. It's definitely got street rod vibes. The classic panel shapes of the old cars we used are represented, so it's kind of a mashup. It's its own thing. Victor fires it up and tells me to jump in, and I'm like, where? There's no room in this thing.